The rain had finally stopped, leaving the country road glistening under the late afternoon sun. Jake Mitchell checked his watch for the third time in as many minutes. 4:47 p.m. His stomach churned. He was supposed to be at Morrison Industries 15 minutes ago for his performance review. After 3 late arrivals this month, his supervisor had made it crystal clear, one more tardiness and he was done. But as he'd rounded the bend 20 minutes earlier, he'd seen her. A pregnant woman in a bronze dress, standing helplessly beside a black sedan with its hood propped open. No other cars in sight, just endless fields and forest. Jake had slowed down, his internal debate lasting all of 2 seconds. His daughter Emma's face flashed through his mind. What if someone had driven past her mother when she was pregnant and alone? He'd pulled over. Now, kneeling on the wet asphalt with grease on his hands, Jake tightened the last connection on the woman's battery cable. There you go. Your battery terminal had come loose. Should start right up now. The woman, she'd introduced herself simply as Catherine, placed a hand on her belly and smiled with visible relief. I cannot thank you enough. I've been here for almost an hour. Everyone just drove past. Yeah, well. Jake stood, wiping his hands on his already ruined work pants. Couldn't do that. My late wife, she would have haunted me forever. He managed a small smile despite the anxiety gnawing at him. Catherine studied him carefully. You keep checking your watch. You're late for something important. Jake exhaled slowly. A meeting at work. Probably about to lose my job, actually, but it's fine. Some things are more important. More important than your job? Catherine's eyes were piercing, intelligent. My daughter's starting to understand what integrity means, Jake said quietly. Better she has a dad who's broke and decent than one with a paycheck who drives past people in trouble. Catherine's expression softened. What's your daughter's name? Emma. She's 7. Asks a million questions about everything. Despite his situation, warmth crept into Jake's voice. She's my whole world. After my wife died 3 years ago, it's just been us two against everything. Being late. Is this a pattern? Catherine asked gently. Jake's jaw tightened. Emma's been sick, pneumonia, doctor appointments, picking her up from school when the fever spikes. My supervisor doesn't care about excuses. He says I should plan better or find backup care. As if I have family in town, as if I'm not already doing everything I can. Catherine was quiet for a moment, then reached into her car and pulled out a business card. Take this. Come see me tomorrow morning at this address, 9 a.m. Jake glanced at the card. Morrison Industries, Executive Suite. His blood ran cold. Wait, Morrison Industries? That's where I work, where I'm about to be fired from. I know, Catherine said calmly. How could you possibly? Jake's eyes widened as recognition finally dawned. Catherine Morrison. The Catherine Morrison, owner and CEO of the entire company. Her photo was in the lobby, though he'd never seen her in person. She kept a low profile, rarely visiting the manufacturing floor where he worked as a machine operator. Oh God, Jake breathed. Mrs. Morrison, Catherine, she corrected. And tomorrow, 9 a.m., don't be late. There was a hint of warmth in her stern tone. Jake drove to work in a daze, arriving 40 minutes late. His supervisor, Derek Stevens, was waiting with HR. The termination papers were already printed. They didn't even let him explain. His badge was deactivated, his locker cleared, and he was escorted out within 20 minutes. That evening, Jake held Emma close as they sat on their apartment couch, sharing a budget dinner of mac and cheese. He didn't tell her about losing his job. Not yet. Daddy, why do you look sad? Emma asked, her small hand patting his cheek. Just tired, sweetheart. But I helped someone today. A lady who needed help. Emma beamed. That's good. Mama always said helping is the most important thing. She did, didn't she? Jake kissed his daughter's forehead, blinking back tears. The next morning, Jake wore his only suit, the one from his wedding, now slightly worn but still presentable. He arrived at Morrison Industries at 8:45 a.m., his stomach in knots. The receptionist seemed to expect him and directed him to the executive floor. Catherine's office was stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, elegant furniture, awards lining the walls. She sat behind her desk, no longer in a dress but in professional attire, her pregnancy still evident. "Mr. Mitchell, please sit." Jake sat, hands folded. "Mrs. Morrison, I want to apologize for yesterday." She held up a hand. "I reviewed your file this morning. Your work quality is excellent. Your safety record is perfect. Your colleagues describe you as reliable and helpful. Your only issue is tardiness, 7 instances in 4 months. I also reviewed the dates." She looked at him meaningfully. "They correspond with your daughter's medical appointments." Jake nodded, throat tight. "Yes, ma'am. I also learned that you requested flexible hours or a shift change to accommodate Emma's needs. This request was denied by your supervisor without being elevated to HR or management. Is that correct?" "Yes." Derek said the company doesn't do special favors. Catherine's expression hardened. "Derek Stevens has been with us for 12 years. In that time, we've had a turnover rate of 40% in his department, triple our company average. Yesterday, after terminating you, he left work 2 hours early for a golf game." She paused. "I've been planning to audit that department. You've accelerated my timeline." Jake didn't know what to say. "Here's what's going to happen," Catherine continued. "Derek Stevens is being reassigned to a position without personnel management. You're being reinstated with back pay and a formal apology. Additionally, we're implementing a flexible scheduling program company-wide for employees with dependent care responsibilities. You'll help us develop it." I don't understand," Jake whispered. Catherine's expression softened. "Mr. Mitchell, Jake. Yesterday I was having contractions. I was frightened, alone, my phone dead. I'd been trying to flag down help, but everyone just kept driving. I started to panic, thinking about my baby, about being a single mother myself." Her voice caught. "And then you stopped. You were risking your job, your livelihood, and you still stopped. You stayed calm, you fixed my car, and you treated me with genuine kindness." She stood and walked to the window. "This company was built by my father on principles of integrity and compassion. Somewhere along the way, in some corners, we've lost that. People like Derek forgot that our employees aren't just numbers. They're parents, caregivers, human beings with real lives. You reminded me why those principles matter." Jake felt tears stinging his eyes. I did what anyone should do." "But most people don't," Catherine said firmly. "And that's the problem. You did, despite the cost to yourself." She turned back to him. "So yes, you're getting your job back. But more than that, you're going to help me make sure we're the kind of company where people don't have to choose between helping others and keeping their livelihoods. Where being a good parent isn't a liability." Jake wiped his eyes, overwhelmed. "Thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough. Be the employee I know you are. Be the father Emma deserves. And maybe, occasionally, still stop for strangers on the side of the road." Catherine smiled. "Deal?" "Deal," Jake managed, his voice thick with emotion. As he left her office, Jake pulled out his phone and called Emma's school. "Hi, this is Jake Mitchell. Could you give Emma a message? Tell her Daddy's coming to have lunch with her today. And tell her that helping people really does matter. It matters more than anything."